Now, to the news. For years, residents of Commonwealth and Lansah halls at the University of Ghana have been at each other's throat in a communal feud that has led to destruction of valuable school property. For once, these rivals are coming together to fight for what they consider a common enemy as they go on warpath with management, which has decided to strip male residents of these two halls of their residential statuses. There's more in the following report.
Some students of the University of Ghana's Lansah and Commonwealth halls are on a warpath with the school's management over a decision to revoke their residency in the school. Under a new program announced 2 weeks ago, the university's council said all continuing students in the two halls will lose their resident status starting in the next academic year, which begins on January the 14th. The idea is to quell the persistent violent clashes between students from the two halls of residence. The students planned to engage the media to voice out their grievance, but the management of the university deployed security to stop the press conference from going ahead, because they had not sought approval from the school's authorities.
You have the right. So are you saying that any student can just walk into the SRC building and start doing anything? Why don't we have a press conference? Why? Nobody is preventing you from having a press conference. Let's not further. People are here. Listen to me. Okay, so please, you are in the University of Ghana. Yes. And the University of Ghana has rules. So you don't think that your own interest can override everything? No, you can contact the SRC president. So you call him for us. You need the confirmation. If you don't do that, you won't enter that place. I'm not entering. You're using the phone. You will not be there. Why? Please, let us talk to the one who...
The students went outside the campus to try and speak to the media. Here too, campus security halted all interviews. Subsequently, the news conference happened, but at a different location.
The university management, which fails to provide proper security for students, failed to have conclusive investigations, but has been quick to issue a wholesale sanction that affects all male continuing students in Lansah Hall and Commonwealth Hall. The said riot, which by the reports of management lasted for almost 4 hours, throughout this period of time, the university security were around, and a police patrol car was parked near the university guest house. Interestingly, we have confirmed that some top-level university management members were also near the guest house. And what did they do? Nothing. All these individuals and agencies could have dispersed and brought calm to this riot, but they did not act. They were very close, by an estimated 100 meters away, and watched on. This has made us believe that the university management had a grand scheme. They were overwhelmed by their incompetence and wanted an easy way out. So why not watch on, then use this opportunity to cripple the students' front and at the same time find a perceived solution to the accommodation problem. The Pro-VC for Academic and Student Affairs said on Radio Universe that investigations into the riots has not been concluded, yet the university has unreservedly sanctioned innocent continuing male students. Natural justice has been sacrificed on the altar of convenience. When he was asked that, why should the actions of a few affect the majority, he further went on to say, in every security situation, people who are not involved will get affected. If it happens everywhere. And when there is war, innocent people get killed. It is a reality of life. Is this the kind of leadership fit to oversee the welfare and affairs of students? No. The Pro-VC must resign. Yes. The university management maliciously brought out this information a week to the beginning of Christmas and expect parents and students to find money to pay an accommodation at a place which now costs over 3,800 cedis as compared to the about 1,000 cedis they would have paid in their original halls. Why burden parents and innocent students this way? Nonetheless, we say to University of Ghana management today that we will not remain resolute and we will not kowtow to such knee-jerk reactionary approach. Why does university management want to rid young level 100 of mentorship, senior coursemate advice, and the benefits that they enjoyed by having continuing students direct them when they were in the university? We would want to send a firm notice to university management that we will fight for our rights with all tools at our disposal. We will not stand and watch our future and that of other future generations jeopardized because you as management failed. we would have a legal battle, and we know and have capriciously crippled the JCR system in both halls, making it quite impossible to have leadership lead a charge. We tell them today that we have seen it, but it's impossible. But impossible is nothing. We shall push through and find leaders amongst us. From the ashes, the phoenix rises. To our fellow Vikings and Vandals, just like our national anthem says, and help us to resist the oppressor's rule.
Commonwealth and Mensa Sabah Hall students have been fighting over the years, but this time around, they have set aside their differences and are fighting the university management together. Jesse Sewa Abuafo's report for Joy News.
Away from that, the management of the Ho Teaching Hospital in the Volta region has introduced CT scan services to meet the ever-growing demand of clients. The Chief Executive Officer, Dr. John Tampuri, disclosed that the facility's accident and emergency unit would be expanded, among other initiatives, to enhance service delivery. He was speaking at the hospital's 9 lessons and carol service in Ho.
The Ho Teaching Hospital is the biggest and most equipped health facility in the Volta region, hence has become a major referral facility. Patients travel from parts of the Greater Accra, Eastern and Oti regions as well as Togo to seek health care at the facility. Given this, the Chief Executive Officer, Dr. John Tampuri, said management would continue to add new services to meet client demands. He was addressing the hospital's 9 lessons and carol service at the premises.
Despite all the challenges that we have faced over the year, we have been able to introduce some new services. These include endoscopy services, and I think we all know about the CT scan that has been operational for almost 2 weeks. The services of new infrastructure have been pumped into the physio department, and the services have really gone very high and deservedly so. The eye unit has also had some support in terms of equipment, and this is also showing very good signs of improvement in the quality of the services.
He also outlined initiatives aimed to deliver enhanced services in 2023 and beyond.
As a part of the plan for the new year, we seek to improve service delivery by putting in much more effort than we did this ensuing year, 2023. And this includes the provision of improved facilities in all the units where they are needed, most including the agenda to begin and complete the Family Health Center within the shortest possible time. The expansion of accident and emergency units, the strategic training and involvement of staff in all decision-making processes, the additional recruitment of some cadres into the hospital to reduce the workload on the staff.
Hard-working staff were recognized and presented with citations for their dedication to duty within the year. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News.
To some news on the economy now, an economist and professor of finance at the University of Ghana, Professor Godfred Popping, is calling for a raft of governance reforms with the aim of achieving sustainable public financing regime. His comments come on the back of the U-turn by government to include individual bonds in the debt restructuring program. Professor Popping, who describes the move as unfair, says government must take advantage of the economic crisis to correct the systemic problems that continue to adversely run the finances of the country into a ditch. He's advocating, among others, a reduction in the size of government and the suspension of ex gratia.
If our president cannot govern with less than 40 ministers and the other reforms, he should resign and give Ghana a chance. Because it's too expensive governing this country. With a number of ministers and associated costs, state-owned enterprises, new agencies being created, some of them are actually not doing anything. But their lifestyles are loaded on the public purse. We must suspend ex gratia for until 2040. Look, this is a good crisis. That is how I see it. we must initiate certain governance reforms, productivity enhanced reforms that allows us to guarantee sustainable public finance. Until that is restored, no ex gratia across different regimes, across different political parties. And we must have that conversation and broaden that, and a certain level of wage freeze that allows this country to have fresh start. We must do that. We cannot try to resolve this problem by disproportionately loading it on creditors who through no fault of theirs were only doing the right thing by investing in a safe instrument, i.e. government bond, and now they have to pay this price. That is sad. That is unfortunate.
Now, we've been speaking to some of you about the suggested reforms, especially the suspension of ex gratia, and here's what you told us.
My point of view for the ex gratia being given to the MPs, if it can be minimized or reduced to help the country, because at the moment the country is in a hardship and we need a lot of money to run many things in the country. So at the moment, the number of MPs that we have in the country, the ministers that we have in the country, if we can reduce it to save some money for the country to help. You know, at the moment, the institutions that we have, the institution that we have in the, how do we call it, the ministries. Yes, if the number of ministries can be, because the ministers we are having now are more than the ministries that we are managing. So at least the number of ministries that we should have the same ministers, not more than that. That would be the best.
They have to cut down the number of ministers, like let's say half here or 1/3. Then they have to also reduce the amount of the ex gratia. Like that one to half. It's too much, because actually they are not the one doing the job too, but even the civil servants who are doing the job, they are even anonymous. So they have to reduce the amount. That's what I think.
Well, I think we should cut down the ministers? Yeah, then we should manage how we spend as citizens. Yeah, I think that one will help us. Yeah, it's not about politics, but it's about ourselves. Understand? Yeah. So I think 40 will be okay. Yeah, 40 will be okay. Not we should stop paying per se, but we can minimize. I mean, we can reduce the amount. Understand? Yeah, we can reduce the amount.
Looking at the number of ministers or cabinet they have, if they should cut it, Ghana can make a lot of millions from that, and that could help save the economic hardships. But if they don't do that, the poor people will suffer. Some of the allowances and some of the household amenities that we pay for the ministers to enjoy, some of them even pick their children from school with the fuel that is supplied by government. All of those things should be cut down. If they give them ex gratia, well, you've served and they want to give you 1 or 2 compensation, that one I think is normal. But those kind of benefit they get, somebody can just pick the child right from school and all with the fuel that is supplied by government, and that is what I think that shouldn't be done.
Now, the National Peace Council is demanding tougher sanctions against 2 radio stations believed to be fanning ethnic tensions in Boku. The latest violence over the weekend has claimed some 7 lives at least, leaving many others injured. Many residents are reported to have fled the hotspot amidst fear of reprisals. Chairman of the National Peace Council, Reverend Dr. Ernest Edujemfi, is asking the National Media Commission to rein in the 2 radio networks to de-escalate the growing tension in Boku.
I'm trying to make sure I construct roads for the people of Boku, provide them with water, give them necessary electricity to be able to do their daily activities.
Apologies, earlier there you heard the MCE for Boku. Away from that, a 47-year-old musician in the Bunu regional town of Winchi is asking for more attention to be paid towards developing and showcasing traditional African music. Adams B. Jabate, believes traditional African music is worth doing compared to foreign ones or foreign genres. According to him, it's time stakeholders in the music industry begin to do things that will encourage the younger generation to explore traditional genres of music. In the following reports, John News' Nesta Kafia-Joma tells his story and how he's using traditional music of the Banda people in the Bunu region to whip up the interest of the youth.
I am Adams B. Jabate from Wangara community. Let me say Wangara by tribe. 2009, I came to traditional music and I came out with a Banda song because when it came to Banda side, Ligui Banda, Joya side, I am the first musician there.
Adams B. Jabate started doing music during his basic school days at the Wenchi Ebenezer Presbyterian Junior High School in 1996. After basic school, he took to high life music but settled for traditional African music in 2009 and has since performed in some countries across the West African sub-region. He says traditional African music expresses the culture, tradition, history, and gives narratives of a people. Adams B., who wanted to take his traditional music to other parts of Africa, intimated there are many things one needed to study before doing traditional music.
And you know, traditional music, many people think it's not something that which is hard or which is complicated, but I can say there is a little thing you have to learn and step on before doing traditional music.
So you studied?
Yes.
How to do the traditional?
Yeah. I'm a student somehow in National Academy of Music at Winnipeg. So I've learned so many things there. So when I came to the music, to the traditional music, as how I'm saying, I supposed to study djembe, that kura guitar. It goes with our xylophone and at the same time with our djembe. So I took this learning, this study, I studied this for so many years.
Adams B's efforts to promote traditional music has not been without any challenge.
Let me say, when I started this traditional music, my producer, Bandex, the first time I finished these 2 tracks I'm talking about in Banda, I take them to him. He refused to produce them. So that album that I said Bilalama is my own album that I've started producing with Adams B Music Records.
That was Nesta Kafia-Joma's report, and before I go, it was an electrifying night at the Kumasi Ratri Park as patrons of the Love and Shira FM Night with the Stars were treated to quality music by some of Ghana's great music acts. For many of these patrons, they wish the night never ended as they partied away their stress and revitalized their bodies and souls for the coming year. Here are highlights of the event.
A night of unstoppable 6 hours of music performances from some of Ghana's great artists. With their soothing tunes, Jackie opened the night with some of her great hits. Calling the man with the best contemporary lyrics for love, and you won't be wrong, Akwaba Jr. rekindled love at the night jam. The night was only getting younger when Tadi sensation Kofi Kinata and the king of high life music, Abrantie Amachi Dede, treated patrons to some good high life music. Ladies' favorite, Kwabna Kwabna, gave the ladies a special treat. Then came the icing on the cake, Samini electrifying the audience with local dancehall music. Patrons were never weary of the night.
Well, actually, Kofi Kinata, I am one of his biggest fans. So, as you can see, I can sing all of his songs from A to Z. I actually saw Kofi Kinata on the bill, so he was the reason I came here. And I also came here to release stress. I'm dancing my problems out.
I feel me and it's happening to me. Now go back to be on camera. I said to me, Chimney. So I say, you know, hey, a better hey, you're way, you're free, you're Jenny, I couldn't know what me and Dabby want to me. One of my own in a call, and they say, Jenny.
Oh, so you can see her dancing. Sometimes I don't even go out. But today I'm here and then I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
With the performances you've seen so far, how will you rate this program?
Let's say 10 over 10 and then 9 over 10. It's not bad, yeah. I'm having fun. I'm going 1 year and we are really excited for what we are doing. We just pay for what we really want to enjoy. So we are having fun.
Christmas is supposed to be a normal time, but Christmas you have to enjoy yourself. You give thanks to God, then you happy your soul because you don't know tomorrow, and we have today. So far we have today, you have to live today. So it's an opportunity for me to just release stress.
If you are any young crown about any, and also the Amaba, my empire, you want to know. Here be a man, yes, and another dear,
The performers were overwhelmed by the numbers and the reception at the event.
Kumasi is always lovely. Kumasi is always like home to me. So thank you so much. Kumasi is amazing, and I owe a lot of gratitude to Kumasi people.
The support, the love, it's overwhelming. You get it. Look at what if you watch the crowd, the way they were singing every song after song. I mean, what else do I want, or what more can I ask for? You get it. This Asante Makwabwa in the building.
The energy level, Charlie, is very massive. Big ups to those who organize the show. Yes, sound, everything at some point. Yeah.
For many of these patrons, it was a night well spent. For Joy News, Emmanuel Bright Kweku reporting.
My people in Kumasi did have a lot of fun. Well, it's now time to bring you the news review with Dr. Asasa Antidu. Stay.